You bought a house in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, it was very, very, and we closed the deal within a day and a half.
And you have this impressive corner unit, basically, with an amazing view of the already renovated Blaha Square that we just talked about.
Right.
Hi guys, this is Sonia from Selling Budapest. Thank you guys for joining. We are here today with this genius man who turned that 185 square meter unit that I showed you guys probably last summer in August into something magic. So we are here with Joshua today. And he's going to introduce himself, but I'm going to go with my very first questions, which I always do. Why Budapest?
Because, so I lived in Prague for many years. I studied there a long, long time ago, so I always had a very strong connection to Eastern Europe. And my sister moved here a few years ago, and I started to come visit her quite often. And I just got to know the city and experience it first time as a tourist, second time as a tourist, but then more like meeting local people, going to local places, and just kind of feeling the city. And that's kind of how. And also, I felt that I could afford something here more than I can back home, and just a little bit more challenging. And Budapest is a big Central European city, much bigger than people think. And
that's right.
Yeah, and
that's right.
It's fascinating. So that's kind of that's the connection.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then you decided that you're going to buy this place. Before you decided you're going to buy this place, you actually went on the market and it's like, okay, I am here to buy something. And what was the experience like?
Actually, to be honest, I found this place quite quickly.
Okay.
Like within 3 or 4 days.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I was looking online for like a month, but then I got here, and within a few days, a friend had contacted me, and he was like, "We gotta go. You gotta see this place." Just a friend, and I came here, and it was nighttime, and the apartment was very dark, and the apartment was the people who lived here before me. They had been in this apartment for about 30 years, maybe even a little bit longer, and the apartment was very run down. And you couldn't really see the walls because there was bookshelves and everything. And basically, the agent said to me, "It has great sunlight. Come back. You got to see it in the daytime." And then basically, when I came back in the morning, I realized how much light this place has. So there's like 13 windows all around.
13, 1 street. No way.
5, 7, 9. Sorry, 9 windows. And the porch, so it has a lot of light. And then the independent unit has morning sunlight from the courtyard.
Well,
which I personally don't like morning sunlight.
I love morning sunlight, but 9 windows.
9 windows. And also, I did a lot of research about Blaha Square. That up until a few years ago, it was even less. It's a place that's changing. It's like, I remember 2 years ago, and it was
definitely
pretty sketchy.
Definitely. It was
pretty sketchy, and it's not anymore. It's not perfect, but you can definitely feel that it's changing. And I think also the 8th district, and we talked about this, is a very interesting district.
It is,
and it's very diverse.
Well, you are basically on the edge. I would say, we are stepping in through you literally in the 8th district. because you are surrounded by the sevens. Like if you look at we're going to
It's like
insert, we're going to insert a map, so you guys will able to visualize like how the Blaha Square looks like. But he is on the, I wish to say on the point, yes, on the 8th district side. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just an interesting meeting point in the city. You know, like you walk downstairs and you really, you know, you see everybody. If it's tourists, Hungarians, Roma, it's all there. You know, you'll see. Listen, I lived in New York for many years, so you know that's New York. You know, that's you walk down, you never know.
Same here.
So
same here. Yeah.
So you definitely feel. I think opposed to like the 5th district, which is very clean and very, you know, everything's like, here it's not, you know, it's more.
Would you call it like a little bit more like hipster?
I would call it more like Williamsburg in the late 90s.
Okay, I like that.
And what I do love about the 8th district is that there's a lot of great cafes and bars that are local and very cool. And I like that. That's where I would like to sit and have a beer. A coffee. Yeah. There's great places. There's really, really great places. Have
you been to this called Voy? The corner, the coffee down there? Yeah. I like that place. It's really popular. They have 2 locations here. So I don't know if he got it on camera yet, but we were chatting with Joshua just before we started rolling, that I mentioned to him that I am the boring one, and apparently he is the very creative one. So when we started shooting today, I immediately pointed out that there is a plaque right in front of the unit, and he decided to name the place Lujza B Studios, which I was like, wow. Such a genius, because you may don't know, and he doesn't even know, but I manage the other side of the corner, a couple of Airbnb units, and I came up with a very boring name: City Center number 1, City Center number 2, City Center number 3, and so on, right? And I was like, who is this guy? So tell us, how did you change? How did you pick the name?
So I come from the world of documentary films, and every time I start a project, I have a working title, and normally that working title changes throughout the process of the editing, of the filming. And like at the beginning, you have a working title, and then when the film's actually done and out, you're like, the title that I have now and my working title, you could see that I went through a journey. Here it was very different. Here, I realized that I need to come up with a name, because it's going to be a small little mini hotel. And I need a name. You need a name. And then I'm I love history, so I started to read about the area, and then I knew that the square was named after Luisa Blaha, who was a very famous actress in the 1870s, 80s, 90s.
That is correct, yes.
She was like a serious diva, and her prime time was right down here in the square, where there used to be a theater that the communists demolished in 1965 or something like that. Just demolished the National Theater.
Right.
And I figured that the square is already named after her, and most Hungarians call it just Blaha, because that's the short name.
Yeah.
And I figured that maybe if I could take her name, Luisa, which is a beautiful name, it's a name that I really, really like.
Right.
And if I can play with that, and I had pictures of the theater in front of me, like I had on my phone, and I was looking through them, and some people. I have a friend here who's a photographer, she dug up some old photos of the theater, and from 1910, 1915, 1920s, 30s. I didn't like design the place as like a theater place, with masks and stuff. I didn't just give it her name and a woman's name and let it go. It's like
Now you definitely want me to rename my my unit for something more interesting. So you have done an amazing renovation, but I heard from you that you didn't pick Hungarian contractors. You decided to work with foreigners.
I worked with an Israeli contractor, a guy named Avi Levin. He has a company called Spring, and they mostly just do hotels and Airbnbs and like small, like that's their specialty. And they were amazing. They were really, really amazing. I've never done this before, so I was pretty nervous. And he and his team were amazing. They had an architect attached, a guy named Yaron, and a interior designer named Sophia. She's local. And mostly with Sophia, it was me and her, like it was like hardball. Like, not hardball, excuse me. We were like, it was her and I all the way. I made a mood board for her.
Cool.
And she got it immediately, and we were completely on the same page. So working with them, it was just a really, really, and also what was important is that the proposal that they gave me was very in detailed, very clear for somebody like me who
doing the first time, right?
I mean, I know film budgets, but I don't know what 3 coats of paint means or this or like.
Right.
There's so many gray zones for me.
Right.
And reading their proposal, I had 2 other contractors. Reading their proposal, I felt right.
They didn't keep you in dark.
No, it was very clear.
It was very clear, straightforward.
Everything from the payments to this, to that, I always knew that I can call him and talk to him. He always picked up the phone. He was always, one time he called me and I heard his baby crying. And I was like, dude, call me later. He's like, okay, and he did. He called me like 2 hours later. So, it was...
So, did you come over, like how, because this is the one of the biggest questions I get, like, okay, Sonia, I'm a little bit scared to do renovation because obviously I'm overseas and I don't know how to supervise the project, and if there is a contractor that I can trust to. And so for you, like, were you here throughout the...
Okay, so I was here so they renovated this place in about 4.5 months, which super, super quick.
Yeah.
I was here like 3 times, and I had a guy who helped me out, who basically made sure that he was like a project manager. He wasn't connected to the contractor or to anybody, and he basically once in a while would come in here just to see. And he knew the contractor, Avi. I had introduced them before, and he was like, Avi said to me, great idea, no problem. They were great. It was great. Everybody really got along, so I was very lucky.
Cool.
So it was, I wasn't here most of the time, but I was getting updates and I was in constant contact with them. So I felt very comfortable. Plus, worst comes to worst, I got a sister who lives here and she could,
That's right, yeah.
And she's a tough cookie. I didn't need that at all. Of course, when I came here, when the renovation was like 90% done, I came here and I'm still here now. And there was a few things that I wanted to do. No problem.
So everything was
I wanted it to like cover
smooth
the
and
cables
seamless.
for the cameras, to not let the cables hang.
Oh, that's right. That you have also the cameras and everything.
Yeah, in the hallways, and definitely was challenging, but it was okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you going to manage it by yourself?
No, I am hiring a management company, and they are going to run it for me, and we are now just finalizing everything, and I spoke with a lot of people, with a few companies, and since this is my first project, first
baby,
so it was really important for me to work with somebody that I've been in contact with them for 6 months, so I know them, and there's good energy, and the contract that they offered me was like, they said, listen, this is our offer. We have a 10% offer, we have a 15% offer, we have a 20% offer. So that's immediately like saying, you know what, we're going to give you options.
They say,
we're not just going to like tell you what our fee is. So that was really nice. I really appreciate that kind of giving you the option to decide yourself.
Like the packages,
The
right?
package, I went on the 15%.
Okay.
And I I hire an accountant and everything. So, and they're in sync. So everything, and again, and they said to me, listen, if you don't like how we're working with you and whatever, it says in the contract that we can terminate this within 60 days. So
very good.
So
it's very transparent and everything.
Yeah.
Sounds like that your experience so far is really, really good in this city, right?
So far, yes.
I love that.
So far, definitely.
I love that. I love that you found your people and everything seamless.
And the rug people,
And the rug people. You know, like throughout my, like during my walkthrough, I was kept pointing out the rug. So I'm not sure if you want to talk about it again, but I would love to talk about the rugs, because this was the first thing. Like when I came in, they finally were done with the renovation, and we walked through the apartment the first time with Joshua, and I was like, wait a minute, where is that rug from? And then so you had this story, right?
No, like, we found I think he's from Afghanistan, a guy who lives here in Budapest, and he deals with Persian, Afghan rugs, and he has a website. And I had told Sophia, the designer, the interior designer, that we have pictures, but I said to her, let's think of something else that can also an element.
It's a pop-up color, like you have,
and it's art. These rugs are art.
Yeah.
So they belong. I think they even belong more on a wall than on the floor. Right.
I mean, those who knows me, they know that I am obsessed to the point where I started telling my friends, like, I want to go to Afghanistan, and they're looking at me like, Sonia, why?
Not a good time.
Yeah, like no, like no. Just find a good dealer, like just.
Yeah. So I gave you his number.
Yes, I got his number. So we might, just go down and talk to him in front of the camera. I think he would, appreciate that. Yeah. I love your experience, though. Like I really do, and I also do like it that you managed this from overseas, right? Like you found these very good people.
Well, that's the thing, like the contractor gave me the highest price. The contractor that I took gave me the highest price. Not by a lot, I'd say like $5,000 or $8,000.
Okay.
But the way that he delivered the proposal for me was like, I will sleep better. I know I'll sleep better because I'm far away.
Right.
And it was just, that's what happened. So it's your instincts, it's your physical meeting one-on-one, eye contact.
Right.
People's, he's, so, and I said to him, I've never done this before. So, if I drive you crazy with 1,000 questions, you have to understand. And he's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So you pay a little more, you sleep better at night. Yeah. In this scenario. Right. And I was like, there was not a moment. The pipe busted at one point, but it was fine.
It was all sorted out.
It was fine. It was fine. And every time that I did come in here during the renovation, there were at least 8 to 12 people working in here, and I came spontaneous. It wasn't like I'm coming in today at 12 o'clock. The main renovation crew were Indian. Mm-hmm. And it was very nice because every time I came, they always had one of their iPhones on.
And with the music?
No, a cricket match.
Okay, cool.
And I was like, they're like, I have their cricket. So yeah.
So what is next for you?
Next, I hope that we'll open up around end of June, beginning of July.
Okay. So you're gonna do the first season, huh? Like
Yeah.
right in the middle of the season. That's
right in the
actually
middle of
very
the
good.
season. The season ends in end of October, right? Kind of, or
Kind of, but then then there is the holiday, the actual holiday season, right?
So, and also I need to tell you that the contractor Avi finished 2 weeks before schedule,
Oh, cool.
which
So we definitely, guys, you can comment below or reach out to me,
Yeah, and you can
email
share-
me,
yeah.
and we're going to definitely share Avi's contact.
Yeah, for sure. He's really, really sweet guy. And that's the idea. We're working on the permits now.
This is what I actually wanted to ask.
We're working on
Right.
the permits. I had to get a tax ID number, which I got yesterday. And I've been sitting for the last week in some Hungarian ministry offices, which was very interesting because that's how you always
Right.
can see how the local society is. And what's
It's
happening.
exactly a little bit mingle with it.
Yeah,
It doesn't hurt.
So I did that, a little Kafka,
Uh-huh.
And we just got the tax ID number yesterday, and Christina, who's one of the managers, she's already like on it. So I hope that we'll have an inspection here in about 2 weeks,
Okay, cool.
and then
Right. Exactly. The inspection, and then after they can go for the permit.
Right. So
Well, with the inspection, you're not going to have any problem. I can assure.
I won't be here.
I can assure you that that's gonna be just
You
fine.
never know.
Well,
Let's hope for
I
the
have,
best.
I have seen some
You have?
inspection. Yeah, I have seen
Yeah.
some inspection. This apartment is going to. I'm curious, like if you're going. Probably you're not gonna get the 5 stars because there are
it's
like
impossible.
different
Absolutely, yeah.
requirements, but
Yeah.
you're gonna get the 4 stars.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's
Very
the plan. That's
very
the plan.
cool. Okay, so there is no headache. No, you went step by step with the process now, like even getting the permit.
Yeah,
Of like the process to run like legally the Airbnb and you have everybody on board, and you didn't run into any
Obstacles.
Obstacles. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So everything
So far,
is good.
so far everything's been good. We there was a little problem with the tax ID number, but it was a bureaucratic number that one of the people
is
did on the
normal.
computer. I wrote Detroit, where I'm from, where I was born, and they wrote it with an I,
Okay.
and that held up the process for a week. So we had to go
Sorry
to the
about
ministry
that, yeah.
again to understand.
And the bureaucracy,
And that was
right?
it was fixed.
Yeah.
So that was basically so far the only thing that I ran into that. It's okay, it's fine.
So I'm not gonna even ask you because now I think I know you a little bit. I'm not gonna ask you if you're going to do this again with the next unit, because I think your answer is going to be now. I want to run it. I want to see it. I want to go to the next step of exploring, like how the whole rental Airbnb process would go down, and then I will
That's exactly
think about it.
That's exactly my answer. It's like slowly digest, understand, evaluate. There's no rush. I'm chartering new waters, so I'm just taking it.
So you guys, I already know that this is going to be a successful story, but at the same time, me as a real estate agent, I'm doing my job and a little bit whispering to him that, well, in case, like we have this golden visa area and people are looking for units, and definitely people looking for investment units where they can just right away, like taking it over from you. He is not planning to sell his place, but we never know. We'll see.
Of course, you never know, but that's definitely not the plan. I did this to also experience this world of short-term rentals. I've never done it before, so
Right.
I want to experience it.
Of course.
So yeah.
So we will never know, but I'm already smiling. We'll see. Because we know that the market the next 2 years, 3 years is going to be a lot going on here because of the golden visa is picking up. So it definitely we will have more and more investors entering to the market looking for very good units, and it was just created by him the last 6 months, basically.
6 months, 8 months, yeah.
Yeah, this very, very unique place. And I mean, you guys whoever you've been watching my videos, you see like we going into Airbnb units, but this one today is something very different. So I was like, from first minute I was very excited and looking forward to shoot with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonia,
for giving us this opportunity and come to the channel and talk about your experience.
Thank you.
So,
and normally I'm used to being on the other side of the camera. So
I know,
just so that you
I know.
know.
I was yeah, exactly,
So,
guys. So I was like praying, like please. But he agreed. He said yes. So thank you again. Like we really appreciate, and we were super excited about this whole thing. I'm as not just a professional, but in a personal level.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're going to say goodbye. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.